welcome to Polish with Ray. I'm Rachel and today I am so excited to be sharing with you a brand new Wonka inspired collection. This release is actually collaboration between by Dany Vianna and Whatcha. It is a massive 16-piece collection in about every finish you can imagine. We've got lots of magnetics, flaky crowlies, glitter crowlies. I mean, there's a lot. It is inspired by the most recent Wonka adaptation, but they try to hold on to like the nostalgia from the original movie, which I love. Down in the description box, I'll provide links to where you can shop these and see more swatches. All right, we have 16 beautiful polishes to look at today, so let's go ahead and check them out. So before we look at the polishes, I did want to share with you this adorable custom box for this release. It's got the Dany Vianna Whatcha collab label and then the little Wonka hat with like the dripping gold chocolate, just so cute. And then also releasing with this collection is a set of magnets in this adorable acetone sensitive 3D printed chocolate case. It's got again the Dany Vianna Whatcha Wonka logo. It looks like a little chocolate bar. So precious. Don't get acetone on it though. And the magnets look like Hershey Kisses. How cute are they? There are two different magnets. One creates like kind of an asymmetrical design and the other one, the square one, creates a cross. So I will be using those throughout the video for the magnetics in this release. So the first shade we're going to look at is a magnetic and it's called Daydreaming. This one is described as being an orange to copper magnetic base with a purple to pink background. There are 3 super shifty magnetics in this release, and of the 3, this one is my favorite. I'm kind of like having a moment where I'm not using magnetics all that often, so this wasn't like a favorite of the collection, but part of me feels like it should have been. Y'all, it is a sunset in a bottle. I would recommend 3 coats for it because if you use 2, you will have a little bit of patchiness, but 3 coats gave me great opacity. I used one of the Hershey Kiss, one of the Wonka Kiss magnets, and here's what it looks like. This was the asymmetrical design. Isn't that a cool design? And the background is like, yeah, purpley pink, and then the magnetic pigment is like a coppery red. It's just a lot of beautiful warm colors. So here's what it looks like in 3 coats with a glossy top coat. Middle and ring finger are with a horseshoe magnet, and pointer and pinky are with a cat eye magnet. Thumb is unmagnetized. Doesn't it look like a sunset? Oh my goodness, I loved this. I think it's going right to my fall rack because this is the perfect like fall or summer to fall transitional magnetic shade. Just that red and gold, and then the magenta-y purple underneath is beautiful. This is in studio lighting, by the way. And then here is what it looks like in natural lighting near a window. Also so striking and pretty. Next up, we have a Magician. This one was inspired by Willy Wonka and his purple coat. This one has a violet to pink to gold magnetic pigment. This one had the same formula as Daydreaming. It looks really opaque in 2 coats, but when I tried to magnetize after only 2 coats, I did have a little bit of my nail peeking through. It wasn't completely even, so I would recommend 3 coats for this one. I think it's going to be a solid 3-coater for everyone across the board. So 2 coats with regular application and then magnetize the 3rd coat. This time I think I'm using the little square Kiss magnet, and this is the design for that one. It's a really cool little cross. I had some patchiness, but I think that's because I did not wait long enough in between coats and they didn't dry completely. So I'm going to take the blame for that one because I didn't have that issue with the other polishes. So here is 3 coats with a glossy top coat. Again, middle and ring finger are with a horseshoe magnet, a 30-pound horseshoe magnet. Pointer and pinky are with a cat eye magnet, and then thumb is unmagnetized. I'm not a purple lover, but the colors in this were so beautiful. Look at it. Oh, the gold to green was just so pretty. And then the base color of this, it doesn't say on the description, but it felt like an almost black kind of jelly. So seeing on my middle and ring finger it shift from that purple to that deeper color and then getting that gold shift too, it was just so like alluring. It was very like, it just drew me in. And then here's what it looks like in natural light. This next one is called Little Orange Man, and it's described as being a green jelly base with orange to gold to green magnetic effect. So this one had the same formula as the previous two we looked at. Look how it glides on the nail. Very smooth, super easy to work with. The by Dany Vianna brush is wonderful. So I would recommend 3 coats for this one. Some people might be able to get away with 2, but I felt 3 coats gave me completely even coverage when I magnetized, as long as I allowed each coat to dry. So I applied that square magnet again, and here's what that looks like. Really fun combination of colors, and I feel like, again, this one would be just perfect for the fall season. So here's what it looks like in 3 coats of the glossy top coat. Gosh, I just can't help but smile. When looking at these magnetics, they are so pretty. They're just really well done. Middle and ring finger with a horseshoe magnet, pointer and pinky with a cat eye magnet, and then a bar magnet, and then thumb unmagnetized. And then here's what it looks like in some indirect natural light. So we're continuing on with the magnetics, but this next little trio has their own special finish. They have like these micro glitters and white, like micro glitters, and then like a micro white glitters with like a corresponding shimmer to match like a chocolatier from the movie. So this first one is called Slugworth, and it's the blue. It's got a blue magnetic pigment, like a black jelly base, and then these adorable white micro glitters. This one wasn't quite as smooth on application as the previous 3 we looked at, but it's still built up beautifully in 2 coats. 3 coats are needed though for even coverage when magnetizing. Again, I feel like I should have let them dry down a little bit longer before going on with the next coat, because I had a little bit of patchiness when I did the application videos. However, that was not my experience when I did the full hand swatches. I also blame like the humidity. Like, I live in the South, it's always humid here in the summer, but this summer has been like 70-80% humidity every day, and nothing is drying down. Anyway, this one has a gorgeous shift to purple, which I was not expecting in the magnetic pigment. I loved it. It looked like a galaxy. So my preferred method of magnetization for this one is using a bar magnet, because it just shows off those white glitters a little bit better. This next shade is called Fickle Grubal, and it's the same as Slugworth, except for instead of blue magnetic pigment, now we have green magnetic effect with those same small white glitters. This one had the same application as Slugworth. It applied evenly in 2 coats, but I did need a 3rd coat for full opacity once I applied that magnet. If you don't plan to apply the magnet, you'll have opacity in 2 coats. And also worth noting that if you use a velvet technique, you will only need 2 coats, because the magnetic pigment provides some coverage when you use the velvet effect, but when you use something like the bar magnet or these cool chocolate magnets, you will want that 3rd coat just so that black base looks completely even at every angle. So here's what 3 coats looks like with a glitter smoother and a glossy top coat. I forgot to add that as well. That for these glitter polishes, I did add a glitter smoother to help them plump out and have nice shine. So this one, again, same preference. I would say the bar magnet is superior for this finish because it just really shows off those white glitters, and that's kind of part of the playfulness of this polish. They kind of get concealed a little bit when you use the velvet effect. And then the final polish in the Chocolate Cartel. that little trio, is called Prodnose, and this one has a mustard yellow magnetic pigment with small white glitters. Same application for this one. 2 coats got me full opacity, but if you are planning to do any kind of bar magnet or like those chocolate magnets, you're going to want a 3rd coat to get full opacity, because see, you can see there. I tried doing it in 2 coats. It looked opaque to me, but then I had a little bit of patchiness. So I ended up going in with a 3rd, then applying my magnet. And again, I just really like these chocolate magnets. The asymmetrical design I think is so cool. And depending on where you put the chocolate over your nail, you're gonna have like kind of a different design on each nail. I love that. So here's 3 coats with a glitter smoother and a glossy top coat. This one was particularly fun because of the contrast between the black base and the gold pigment, which was so glowy, by the way. Yeah, I just thought that combination of colors was really, really playful. And in general, I'll say I really enjoyed that about this collection. I think Whatcha and by Dany Vianna did such a great job having that whimsy from the Wonka movies translate into the nail polishes as well. And the final magnetic in this collection is called Death by Chocolate. This one is a yummy brown jelly base with light gold magnetic effect. This one. This one was also not a top pick, but as far as the magnetics go, honorable mentions, this one definitely has a place. 3 coats were full opacity, and it's beautiful, beautiful magnetized, but beautiful unmagnetized too. Like, I really like this gold look. But then when you magnetize it, oh my gosh, stunning. Like a warm caramely chocolate base. Like, I see candy. I see desserts, decadence on my nails. Beautiful. 3 coats with a glossy top coat. This one, my preferred method to wear it was with the velvet effect. I loved that flash of gold, and then getting to see the brown too when you shifted your nails around was so pretty. But honestly, can't go wrong with any magnetic style for this polish. I just thought it was stunning. And then here is what it looks like in natural light. Next up, we have a Little Parteee, and this one's described as being a sheer purple base with purple aurora shimmer, purple reflective glitters, and red metallic shreds. So this one, true to description, is very sheer, could absolutely be used as a topper over a similar color, over a deeper base color. But it built up well in 3 coats. I didn't have full opacity, but I had pretty great coverage on my nails and like a solid like purple base, if that makes sense. I could still see a considerable amount of visible nail line, but I felt like 3 coats suited this one. Some reflective glitter polishes are so packed with that reflective glitter that 3 coats feel super thick on the nails, and that was not my experience with this polish. I felt like for being a reflective, it had a really good formula. It was on the thicker side, but not like super, super thick. So here's 3 coats with a glitter smoother and a glossy top coat. I definitely recommend a glitter smoother for this one. Between the reflective glitters and the red shreds, it does dry down with a considerable amount of texture. And then here's what it looks like in some natural overcast lighting. The next shade is called Double Huh, and this is described as being a sheer black base filled with blue aurora shimmer, silver reflective glitters, and matte yellow lightning bolts. This one is inspired by silver linings and the alliance it brings between Willy and Noodle. I don't know any of these references. I apologize for that. I have not seen the new movie. I haven't even seen the Johnny Depp one. I've just seen the original. So this one, I had a little bit of a tricky time getting those lightning bolt glitters out. There are plenty of them in there. They're not stuck to the side of the bottle, but you just will have to fish for them a little bit. The blue shimmer in here, wow, so glowy. I loved that. I want more of this blue shimmer. It was magnificent. And then again, description said it has a black base. Think super, super, super lightly tinted, because this does not give off a black polish vibe. It is absolutely feeling like a blue on your nails because the shimmer is so wildly intense. The base is so sheer. But because of all that shimmer, it builds up to opacity. At least it did for me in 3 coats. And then you're going to want a glitter smoother for this one because the reflective glitter and the lightning bolt glitters dry down with quite a bit of texture. Next up, we have another honorable mention. This one's called Noodle-dee-dee, and it is described as being a candy blue crelly base with a mix of neon hex glitters. Okay, this is so beautiful. Look at the formula. It's got that super squishy, dries down, shiny, crelly base that I love working with so much. And it built up beautifully for me in 2 coats. Longer nail lengths, you might need 3 for full opacity, but I think most people will be good in 2 with this. It just had a lot of plumpness to it, and the perfect amount of glitters came out with each coat of polish. So here's 2 coats with a glitter smoother and a glossy top coat. I would say glitter smoother for this one is optional. Not necessary since those glitters are so small, but it does add a really nice plump look to the polish that I just think suits it so well. Like, this polish is so playful, it's so fun and uplifting, and that glitter smoother just gives it like that candy-like look. Next, we have Paid in Chocolate. This one's described as being a white crelly base with red metallic flakes and shreds and iridescent flakes. Oh my gosh, so excited for this one. It had great coverage. That same smooth, squishy jelly base that the last polish had. It was just a dream to work with. The flakes are in a variety of sizes and shapes. They're really irregular, and I think that only adds to the playfulness. 3 coats were full opacity for this one. I do recommend a glitter smoother as well as a glossy top coat just to plump it out and to help those shreds, not pop out on your nails. So here's 3 coats with a glitter smoother and a glossy top coat. I loved this on me. My only thing was on my middle finger. You can see I got the most ridiculously gigantic iridescent flake, and even with the glitter smoother, it would not smooth out. It would not lay on my flat on my nails. They're just too curvy. So next time I would probably opt to swipe that gigantic flaky away, but other than that, this polish had my heart. Okay, this next one I'm not 100% sure of the name. My bottle says a boost in self-esteem, but my description says a boost in confidence. Regardless, it's described as being a sheer pale yellow base with gold aurora shimmer and matte brown irregular glitters. This is one of the more unique polishes I have swatched in a long while. It's got a lot going on. The yellow base, the gold yellow shimmer, the brown irregularly shaped glitters. Like, I'm not sure what I think, but I do know it is unlike anything I have. And the glitters, they're just like, they're not super packed in there. They're kind of on the sparse side, which again feels very whimsical and appropriate for this collection, but it's just really interesting. So here's 3 coats with a glossy top coat. I didn't require a glitter smoother for those glitters. There just weren't a lot of them and they weren't super big. But you could always add a glitter smoother. The gold shimmer in here had a really fun green shift, which I wasn't expecting. And here is what it looks like in natural lighting. Next up, we have Abigail's Treat. This one's described as being a sheer white base with a mix of green aurora shimmer and white irregular glitter. Another honorable mention. There are a lot. This one had a beautiful formula. So glowy. That shimmer is so glowy. It was gorgeous. And then those white glitters, I wasn't sure if I was going to like love them in there because again, they're kind of on the sparser side, but that shimmer really steals the show. And those white glitters are just kind of like sprinkles on top of the cake. Like they're not super noticeable. They don't distract from the shimmer. It's just like when they catch the light, when you notice them, you're like, oh, okay, that's something fun and different. I like it. But yeah, the shimmer. This is 3 coats with a glossy top coat. You will probably have some visible nail line with this one, but it didn't bother me because the shimmer was so glowy and intense. I really enjoyed this on my nails. And we're going to finish up with a few toppers. This first one is called Golden Secret, and this one is a gold metallic crackle shade. And in the bottle, instantly I saw this and thought golden ticket. That's exactly what this polish is. So it is a crackle shade, but first I'm going to show you what it looks like applied the normal way, the traditional application method. It's fully opaque in 2 coats. It would probably make a great stamping polish if crackle stamps well. I don't even know, truthfully. And on its own, it dries down to this matte finish. When I applied it normally like this, it did not crackle, interestingly. But here's what it looks like in 1 coat over a green cream, crackleized with a glossy top coat. This is the first time I've used a crackle polish since high school. So it feels very nostalgic for me in that way. But yeah, altogether, this was a really interesting polish. I thought the gold color was really fun and super versatile. I could see myself using this around the holidays, in the fall. It was really fun. Next, we have Pure Imagination. This one can either be worn on its own or as a topper, and it's described as being a sparkling pink to gold aurora shimmer with gold reflective glitter and satin white 4-pointed stars. Such an interesting combination. Again, this collection just has all the whimsy. So I'm showing what it looks like here over a bright cornflower blue cream. The glitters in here came out really easily. They did tend to like stick to the brush, but you can see there are a lot on the brush there. So you're just going to want to do a little bit of placement to get them exactly where you want on the nail. But I thought this polish was beautiful. I loved that like pink to gold aurora shimmer. It was so twinkly and sparkly. And then the glitters in here, I'm not usually a fan of like shaped glitters, but they were really cute in this. So I'm showing it here over like a purpley red base. And I just thought that deeper color really helped show off that pink to gold shimmer. It's super shifty. It's very sparkly. And yeah, the gold reflective glitter is on the subtle side. Like there's not a ton of that. So I would say a regular glossy top coat is just fine with this one. And then the final polish in this collection is called 6 Soverings and a Hat Full of Dreams. This one's described as being a pink sparkling aurora shimmer topper with silver holographic dots and violet UCC flakes. This one can also be worn either as a topper or built up on its own. This would definitely build up in 3 coats. Those UCC flakes and glitters are packed. Packed in here. So this is 1 coat over a bright fuchsia cream. Really fun combination. Again, super interesting and unique to my collection between those UCC flakes and those holographic circle dots. Just really fun. And then here's what it looks like over black. That shimmer's so wow. That shift is so extreme, and then the glitters in here are really fun. So this is what it looks like over black, and then on my thumb I'm showing what it looks like on its own in just a couple coats. I got close to full opacity. I think 3 coats would definitely give me full opacity, and this was also a really fun look. And then here is what it looks like in some natural overcast lighting. So that was by Dany Vianna and Whatcha's newest collaboration. Let me know all your thoughts down in the comments. I am excited to have by Dany Vianna back on the channel again. I've actually, I don't think ever swatched like a full collection from them, which is crazy. But I did swatch her PPU and HHC offerings for a really long time, and the maker is so sweet. But this collection, it, like I said, is massive, and it's a lot to process. Like, there's so much variety when it comes to colors and finishes. But as far as favorite shades go, as soon as I unboxed this collection, there was an instant favorite for me. And then when I had it on my nails, it was like same. It is this adorable Crowley Paid in Chocolate. It was love. The minute I took this out of the package, I instantly thought of like peppermint candy, and it just was so fun and refreshing to me. And I love that not only does it have like the red metallic shards, but the iridescent flakies in here too are just so beautiful and really add like a lot of interest for me. Again, I will link down in the description box the maker's site and social media so you can grab these. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did or found it helpful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye!